Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Saradomin solo guide. In this video I'll be mainly showing the inventory setups that might be very useful to take with you. Another thing that I'm going to show in this video on how I recently killed Saradomin with black chins. That kind of stands apart from solo guide-ish, because I don't think a lot of people are going to use black chins, because it's rather expensive, but I will come to that one later. Alright, so this was always the setup that I always used. I always took this setup with the armored crossbow and diamond bolts with the ferric helm. Now, since the release of the Serpentine helmet, it is actually not too bad to take the Serpentine helmet with you, because it can venom the Starlight and Bree. Unfortunately, it doesn't really venom the Growler, because he splashes all the time since you're praying mage. That's a bit too bad, but it does definitely help on the minions, because the minions are close to death whenever Saradomin dies, or might even die when your kill is slow, which will generate more bones and more food drops. And whenever it doesn't die, you will just be able to kill it a lot quicker when Saradomin dies, meaning that you will not use as much food. So this is the helmet that I will be taking along the trip, and yeah, if you can afford it, it might be useful. The only real downside here is the prayer is the ferric helmet plus 3 prayer, which is really nice. And the other downside is a slight decrease in range. Slight decrease. -3 extra. The helm is, the Serpentine helm is -5, this is -2, so it doesn't matter that much. Okay. Another thing that I found very useful is the toxic blowpipe. The only downside is that it's one-handed, so you will need another inventory space for it if you want to use it. Getting your kill count with it is amazing. Doesn't really do a lot of jobs on Saradomin, but it will kill the minions very quickly, especially since you're putting range. Using the blowpipe is very good. Normally, I always use the whip, or the tentacle whip for that matter. It always used perfectly fine. But since you're not put it on attack and strength, it just gave some problems sometimes, just several zeros in a row, which is rather annoying. So I prefer the toxic blowpipe over the tentacle whip, definitely. And I use rune darts in there, but you can also decide to use mithril darts. I think they work just as fine. In the video that I'll be showing later, I was using dragon darts. Don't do that. That's way too expensive. It is a lot of fun, but yeah, it's way too expensive. Things that I take myself as well is the Saradomin Godsword, which is a really good item when you're soloing at Sara, because it heals hit points and prayer. Now I hear you saying, well, I do not have the Saradomin Godsword, but I do have the blowpipe. Does that work as well? Sort of, yes, you will heal with it if you use the blowpipe on the minions, but not as good as the Saradomin Godsword. It just does not hit as high and frequent, and the Saradomin Godsword heals prayer as well, so I would still take the Godsword over the toxic blowpipe, definitely. The only downside about the Godsword is its weight, but yeah, you got stamina potions, so you should be fine on that. Things that you might want to use, because you might not have the Elysian Spirit Shield, are several other shields. One of is definitely the best above the rest is the Dragon Fire Shield. A lot of range defense bonus, and that's exactly what you need. Another thing that you could take is the Crystal Shield, which is a bit more expensive in use. Of course, the first pay is a lot lower than the Dragon Fire Shield, but it's really good. Do not forget to imbue it at Nightmare Zone, so it keeps its stats basically. But yeah, this is a really good shield, because the range defense bonus is very high, even a lot higher than the Elysian actually. So that's really good. I would not recommend taking the Odium Ward. Yes, you do have more range bonus, like 12. That's actually quite a lot. But the range defense bonus kind of lacks there. So yeah, you might be fine. But yeah, you will get hit a bit more by Starlight, or I mean by Bree, and that's just a little bit painful. But I always use the Elysian, so that's what I will be using. I'm also taking Black Chinchompas. I will show you how to use those, and I will explain how they work while I'm there. I'm not a big fan of Ruby Bolts. They do a lot of damage. They can hit a 50 at a certain chance. The biggest downside of using Ruby Bolts is that you're always using Ruby Bolts in the beginning of the kill. And that kind of means that you're probably at 99 hit points, or at least your max, which means that the ruby bolts will do a lot of damage on yourself, like a 10 or a 9. And that will mean that you will lose a lot of hit points in the beginning of the kill, which might mean that you're gonna have to eat or brew up during the kill, which slows down your kill. And yeah, it's just a waste of your supplies, really. And the diamond bolts are actually good enough in my opinion, and I stay long enough with the diamond bolts only. The only reason why when I would be taking ruby bolts, if my range level is very low, like below 90, yeah, then you might want to take ruby bolts. But yeah, still I would advise you to be at least level 90 range to solo Sarah. So yeah. Alright, I'll be getting my inventory set up, and I will show you the inventory. Alright, so I got my inventory set up. This is what I normally take when I'm not chinning. So this is an inventory that you could take if you are just using range with an SGS as a healing weapon. If you do not have the blowpipe, take a whip with you. If you have a low attack and strength level, you might just want to use the crossbow. Works just as fine. It's just a little bit less accurate as a whip with piety, but oh well. For the inventory, I always take 3 range potions. You could take 2 and repot a little bit less often and take a brew extra or super restore extra. But this inventory is a basic guideline. Depending on your experience, you will stay longer. If you never ever fail, you will not need as many brews. If you are very good at soloing Sarah, you want to take more stamina potions with you and more super restores, maybe 1 extra super restore and another stamina potion. If you do still need to learn how to do Saradomin solo, you might want to even bank another super restore, bank another stamina pot for another brew, and adapt after the trip, and just keep adapting until you're very good. And yeah. And basically until you find your own inventory. This is a bit of a guideline. If you see that you run out of brews after a few kills, and you're like, well, that was just 2 range potions too much, then you just take 2 range potions instead of 3 and go on from there. So yeah, this is what I will take, and I will see you guys when I'm at Saradomin. Alright, so I'm now here in the Saradomin room, and I'm still waiting for the kill, but I am using black chins this kill, and just to show you how I kill Saradomin lately. Of course, I still use the crossbow to lure Zileana towards me, but whenever Starlight is online with Zileana, I throw my chins at Starlight. The reason why I'm using chins on Starlight and not on Zileana is because the chins only look at the defense level of Starlight right now, and whenever the chin does actual damage, it will damage Zileana as well. As you can see, whenever I'm hitting 0 on Starlight, I will most likely hit a 0 on Zileana as well. But if I do a hit on Starlight, I will most likely hit a hit on Zileana as well. And that creates this method. I'm trying to do 3 hits every wall, and this will result in a sub 2 minute kill almost every time. This way I can do like a kill every stamina dose. If I really want to max out, I can take 8 stamina pots with me and do 32 kills, which is rather insane. Soloing Sarah on the normal way is practically the same, but you just use your crossbow on Zileana and you will get about 3 minute long kills, 2.5, 3 minute. That's about the difference that you will see. You will notice after the kill a big difference between me killing the minions with the blowpipe. You will actually see it is actually really useful. And of course you will see that the Bree is already damaged by the venom, which is really useful in kills. Normally the venom has already did a little bit more, but oh well. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this has helped you all, and I will see you the next time.